Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Actually, I want to switch to something else for now. Good morning, Ari. Hey, Kendra. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Let's say it's hump day, y'all. And we got quite a bit of news this morning about different things that are going on in DC and across America, but DC, yes, specifically. But also getting you to understand like the impacts of a lot of these things that are happening. Hey, Mrs. Thompson, good morning. Hey, Sweet Pea, good morning, beautiful. Good morning. This image I got from one of my videos and somebody had shared it in there and I was like, yeah, that's kind of how it feels to go buy ground beef right about now. You get next to nothing for a lot of money. And what did I tell y'all weeks ago? I told you the ground beef was going to go up because of the issue with the farmers. It's going to go up, and the trade stuff, like all these things add into the cost associated with, getting food. Hey, Lori, good morning. And right now, getting food is crippling the American public. Just basic necessities. We're not talking about being extravagant. We're talking about the bare minimum. And the bare minimum is wearing us out. Hey, Trail, good morning. Now, I'm going to come back to this ground beef thing because we're going to talk about it. But this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about this Ghislaine Maxwell stuff, especially in light of the fact that I told you guys yesterday. Thank you. Somebody in the chat told me yesterday, hey, Lola, good morning. Somebody mentioned about the fact that she had work release, so I went digging while we were in the live, and then I did some more digging afterwards. And yes, Ghislaine Maxwell is eligible for work release now. Eligible for work release. For what she was convicted for, trafficking and all the stuff she was doing, she is eligible for work release. How is that keeping America safe? Hey, Dolores, good morning. Hey, Aunt TD. Oh, no, she did work. She worked before. The work that she did do was what got her ass locked up. Hey, Jordan, good morning. That's the shit that got her locked up. But the Trump administration, the administration that claims they're the administration of law and order. Again, I don't even understand why Americans would expect the administration to be law and order when the president is a convicted felon. This is where I go, Americans, y'all not really smart. Like, there are a lot of Americans that are not very smart. Would you let a convicted felon, a 30-time-something convicted felon, hold your purse? Would you give him your ATM card with the PIN number? Of course you wouldn't. So why are you doing anything any different with Donald Trump? Hey, Vanity, good morning. Good morning, Russ. That's the part I don't understand with America. It's like, well, I want to own the liberals, so I'm going to let this man steal from me and my family. How are you owning me by letting him do that? Oh, Ron, shut up. Nobody cares. Coming in all loud. You old, probably getting checks yourself. Shut up. Conservatives always talking. I don't believe in socialism except on the first of the month. Shut up. Shut up. Conservatives are the first people at the front of the line. Give me money. Give me something for free. My trailer blew over. Please pull it upright, government, please. Cut the shit. See, one of the many things, like, I don't like how Trump governs, but I do love that he is strangling conservative states and not giving y'all asses disaster relief money. Thank you. I am so sick and tired of taking care of people who don't like socialism. So if you don't like socialism, my tax dollars shouldn't go towards your shit. Period. I would hate to give you money and have you be against your own best interests. So suffer and do it your damn self. So that's where I agree with Trump. Let them suffer. See, one of the things I told y'all, my grandmama said, be careful of the grave you dig for somebody else. You just might fall in. MAGA, they call themselves digging graves for everybody. They didn't anticipate falling into it themselves. The saddest part is they don't even have enough wherewithal to even understand that they're being buried. That's the saddest part. It's the funniest part, frankly. Conservatives throwing dirt over their faces and they're still like, freedom, liberty, my rights. It's like you saying all of that stuff while these people are oppressing you. Hey, listen, I can't wait for all the storms playtime. I've been praying for the storms. Do you understand? I talk to Republican Jesus every day. I say, Republican Jesus and all the angels in Republican heaven, listen, suffering is for conservatives. They say they don't mind suffering as long as it's for God and for Trump. So please give them what they ask for. That's what I say. Good morning, dude. That's what I say. So I'm all for them suffering. No. Republican Jesus is up high, Roberts. That's what you don't get. See, there's a Republican heaven and there's a real heaven. The Republican heaven does not feed it lets starving children go hungry. It doesn't listen to the cries of the most vulnerable. No, it's only listening to rich folks, and they have bouncers at the gate. You can't get in if you ain't got at least 50 million in your bank account. You ain't know? Yeah, that's what I found out. That's conservatives for you. You say, if he was so involved with Epstein, why won't Trump release it now? He's president now. Focus on the now, Poggy, like how you should be making sandwiches. Bye, beloved. I told y'all I don't talk to conservative women. Conservative women, you're welcome in my live. You just got to be quiet. The only people who can talk to me are men. Well, conservative men. I talk to liberal women. But I don't talk to conservative women. Because y'all say that men, y'all traditional, blah, blah, blah. So stop talking to me. Ain't nothing a fucking woman can do for me but make me a sandwich. A conservative woman, mind you. And I like my bread toasted, beloved. You know? Hey, Starlink, you can go make me a sandwich too. I'm letting you out so you got time. Bye. And I would like a side cut of potatoes. I want them hand cut. No machinery. I want them hand cut. Soaked in buttermilk, coated with flour, fried nicely, crispy. I told y'all I won't allow them to do it. Not in this live. Not in this live. Nope. See, one thing I figured this out. I told y'all some time ago. Conservative women are full of shit. Like Candace. Candace always runs around talking about, I believe in traditional values and women being homemakers and men being leaders. Then, bitch, why you work every day? Why does Candace show up and get to work? Why she not at home making sandwiches? Because Candace don't believe that bullshit either. See, if I was debating Candace, I'd ask her that. So you believe in traditional marriages, right? Traditional relationships, right? Yeah, I do. Then how are you able to work every day? Shouldn't you be at home taking care of your family? You know, taking care of the baby, making sure the house is tended to while your husband does the productive work of society. But instead, you're online talking on a microphone. So you put your career and your ambitions ahead of this family you claim you love so much. See, that's how I would call her ass out. Yep, she should be popping out more babies. You understand? But instead, she's online making her money, acting all independent, even though she got a man, right? Why you not at home, boo? Because she don't believe that shit either. She don't believe it either. But just like I tell conservative women, you can help conservative men tow water all you want to. When they've gotten the power that they want, they're going to boot your ass out. What they need you for? If I'm running around saying that we need to be traditional, women have a place that they need to be in, and it ain't where men are, why the fuck would I keep you in my space? I'm just thinking logically here. I know if I was a man and I believed that shit, I wouldn't. I go, okay, I'm going to let this bitch, I'm going to let her ride with me and convince other women that they need to be doing what she doing. But I don't consider her my equal. Oh, I've noticed Candace tries to be pro-black, but you know the funniest part of it? That shit ain't working. Because black people, we look at Candace, she a clown. See, y'all forget, Candace dropped out of college. She didn't finish. Why? She ran out of money. She ran out of money. See, that's what y'all forget. She ran out of money. So she started grifting. She don't like the NAACP now, but she loved it when she used them to sue the school system for racism and get money. Y'all got to remember to call these people out. See, I call out Candace on that bullshit. I call her out on that bullshit. Every day I call her out. Yeah. She loved the NAACP when she wanted, when she claimed those kids at her school were being racist against her. She loved the NAACP to get her money from the school system. She loved that. Now, but then once she gets it, she tries to go to college, still ain't got enough money. Let me get the grifting. Now, all her lies done caught up with her. Now she's being sued by the First Lady of France and the First Gentleman and the President of France, right? She's being sued by them. And now she's like, how come Trump's not helping me? Why would he help you? He don't like you. You the last person to know, boo. It's so funny when the last person to know that they're not liked. It's always funny. It's always funny. Like the MAGA who think they're going to come in. No. I don't do DEI here. If I let you come here, look at Joe Hart telling us this morning, I'm in love with a man. I woke up dreaming about a whole man, and it's not even Gay Pride Month. I love to let them tell about their love. Oh, look at JB. I love men. I'm so mad she talking about a man I dream about at night. They get so angry. Don't be mad with me. I'm telling everybody you love men too. I love men too. You know? But who knew that we both like the same fucking thing? Who knew? I told y'all, that's why Republicans don't like Gay Pride Month. That's why. Because they show the love of the man that they love, the conservative men. They show how much they love other men every day of the week. They don't wait until Gay Pride Month. Those gentlemen are showing love on a daily. When they say, thank you for my man. My man. Thank you for my man. These are these guys every fucking day. Greetings from Germany. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining me, strong man. Now I want to stop this one. And hey, Army Vet, I brought you up yesterday afternoon, giving people some of the tips that you had told us yesterday morning. So I made sure to repeat some of those things. Like, I don't see Army Vet in here, but he said y'all need to do X, Y, and Z. So thank you, brother, for showing up this morning. I want to stop first to say thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. Don't forget, the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast is going to drop today for the general public at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, I'm talking to everybody, but I'm talking to immigrants specifically, telling you there's a cost to coming to America and assimilating. There's a cost to coming to America and erasing your entire identity, your customs, your language, your food, all that shit. Don't come to America and get all assimilated. It takes our seasoning away. I said what I said. America gets its flavor from immigration. America gets its flavor from immigration. That potato salad be as bland and as pale as possible without immigration. I said what I said. I said what I said. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not. Think about it, right? With America, when it comes to its food, right? Don't think about Black America. Just think about America. Just what they call default America. That's what white supremacy likes to call it. White America. You tell me where at in America you're running down the door to taste that food. I'll wait. Nowhere. There is nowhere you're running to in America like, oh my gosh, I gotta drive the blah, blah, blah to taste blah, blah, blah. Nowhere. America's bland as fuck. Hey, JR, you might want to go back to school. That's not how you spell racist, beloved. At least if you're going to be like that, spell it right. Jesus. We ain't, what, bruh had me thinking like, what they say? What's that song? Bruh was racing. That's not the racism you wanted to talk about, beloved. That's the part that cracks me up the most. Conservatives talk so much stuff. But I'm like, but then you don't know how to spell it. Now, I can't be insulted when you don't spell it right. Yeah, meet me at the tram. It's going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. That's how I saw it. Because I don't understand what that was. Guaranteed to go down. Hey, because that's how I felt when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. That's not how you spell racism. That's not how you spell racism. That isn't how you do it. Now, come on, y'all, do better. Somebody called you that because you couldn't afford to live in their neighborhood? Really? You know what's funny, Andy? The funniest part about all of that? The people who say that tend to not live in very great neighborhoods. I said what I said. They be like, you can't afford to live around here. And that's what my black ass says. I don't want to live around here. It smells funny around here. I don't want to live around here. It don't smell right. See, you understand? I don't smell no seasonings around here. Okay? I mean, we're going to keep it all the way a buck. If we're going to keep it all the way a buck. All right? While America leans in on this racism, again, it goes back to what I said from the beginning. If you've been in America, you're a white American, you just say you're not a person of color. And all this time you've been saying ain't no racism. And all this time we've been telling you it is. Still believe that. And this is especially goes out to white women having babies with black men. Oh, you're little black babies because they're not white. Okay? Understand, biracial babies, they're not white. Society will never treat them as such. Okay? Society will never treat them as such. You're Latina, Andy. Hey. But it will never treat them as such. Right? Y'all gonna learn a very hard lesson. To the detriment of your children. Because, see, you'll have the complexion for the protection, but your children won't. Your children won't. America will remind your children every day of the week that they're not white. They won't care that they got a white mama or a white daddy. See, it was America who came up with that rule. One drop makes you black. Now, all of a sudden, that's why I laughed when Obama was president, because it was all of a sudden white people talking about, well, he's white too. And I was like, my black ass over there was like, since when? Since when Obama white too? Not according to y'all. Oh, I get it. You want to diminish the blackness by saying he white too. That wasn't how you were treating him his whole life when he was growing up. Obama ain't stupid. He knew the game. He knew what was happening. They thought they was running game. You can't run game on a guy like that. He knows. That's the thing. He knows. America, you're going to have to deal with your fucking racism, man. You're going to have to deal with it. Lying to yourselves about what your country is. Or, I used to love I wasn't a racist. I wasn't even born. Are you benefiting from the system that exists today that was built on that shit? then you're helping to keep it going. Your silence is complicity. Yeah. Your silence is complicity. And it's all fun and cool and games until your white child decides to fall in love with a person of color, and then they get married and they have children who are now children of color. All of a sudden, then you go, oh, my grandbabies ain't like that. No. Society says, fuck your grandbabies. They lump your grandbabies in with the very people that you used to not protect. Now you running uphill in mud trying to protect your grandbabies from the system that you helped to uphold. Why do you have to wait until you have something vested in the shit for you to care about it? Why? You know why? Because it makes you feel uncomfortable to talk about anything that ain't about your ass. That's why. See, that's that me, I. That is America. That's good old America. That is the American. That's the original America. Be as selfish and individual and think about it. The person. Me. I. Folks got to get out of that. You said, I was told by hospital staff that I should mark Whitey. You know why? Because let me tell you something. You want to know why racism, all the people who said there's no racism in America. You know why you can confirm that there's racism in America? Look at how hard they're fighting against immigration. Putting Hispanic people in detention centers and stuff. Because white supremacist America is concerned about being a minority. They don't want to be the minority. They know how hard they work to oppress minorities. Why would they want to be minority? Now keep in mind, these are the same people that claim because you're a minority, you get all this free shit. But yet they don't want to be a minority and get the free shit. You know why? Because they don't believe that fucking rhetoric they spew either. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. They wish they could be you. How you got so much swag? How you got so much flavor? In spite of all the oppression that your people go through, how are you still smiling? That shit pisses them off. This is why I tell y'all, work hard on maintaining your joy. People who want to oppress you, they can't steal that shit. They can't steal that shit. And that burns them up. A lot of what you see happening is about rich people and powerful people want to mess with your joy. Don't let them do it. Now I want to stop for a second and say thank you all for joining me this morning. If you guys could do me a favor and tap that like button and that share button, I greatly appreciate it. And with the share, copy link counts as a share. Now I saw this meme earlier and the shit made me howl. For real, if you want to hide from the Trump administration, dress up like the Epstein files. They won't detain you. I can guarantee it. You dress up like the Epstein files, they're going to act like they don't see you and be like, don't look over there. Don't look over there. The president says we're not supposed to look for stuff like that. So y'all need to start making some, I may make some Epstein sweatshirts that look like Epstein files. And that'll stop people from looking at you. Yeah, even conservatives. They don't want to be looking over at you. Stop looking at her. Stop. She's going to read the files. Because honestly, that is how you get to these people. Remember before the election, how Republicans told you they cared so much about children, and when Trump gets elected, Trump's going to expose everything. Trump ain't do shit. Y'all know Ghislaine Maxwell also has work release privileges now, right? Make it make sense why Ghislaine Maxwell would have work release at all. Say it again. If you dress like the Epstein file, ain't no telling what will happen, J. Fig. Listen. That's why I'm telling people. I'm still curious what she's going to do for work. Good question. But I don't think it matters, does it, Lori? As long as she gets out. consistently. I'm telling y'all, they're trying to normalize before she's pardoned. Or the Supreme Court overturns her conviction. Because remember, she put in a request for her conviction to be overturned. None of this shit is an accident. None of it's a coincidence, y'all. None of it. She don't have to escape, Lisa. Trump and them are going to let her out. They're going to let her out. They're normalizing this. Trump and the Republican Party and Republican voters. So when somebody tells you that's a conservative, that they love children, they respect children, they want to make sure children are okay, they lied. Yep, Trump gave Lawrence Taylor a job working with kids. Keep in mind, Lawrence Taylor got caught up on a case for messing with kids. He can't even be around kids. But he's been tapped to head the president's Fitness Council for Children. Oh, he's registered, Kiara, as well. Y'all think that's an accident? That's not an accident. If these many people hang in your sphere that have done shit like this, what do you think it says about you? See, I was raised birds of a feather flock together, right? So when it comes to Trump, all of a sudden, birds of a feather don't flock together. All of a sudden. Y'all this is why I told y'all, allowing your government to normalize this shit makes every community in America unsafe. Your children are unfucking safe because they're normalizing this shit. They're normalizing it. I told y'all about how in Utah they changed the consent rules. I told y'all. Y'all got to pay attention to all this stuff that is happening. All of it's a game. All of it's a ploy. All of it's designed for power seizure. That everything's about power, 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 power. And I go, if the children aren't safe, if they come after the kids, who you think next? The women? Hell, they're already attacking the women's bodies. Yeah, Utah already allows that. But in Utah, they did something else recently. They changed it so if the person that engaged in something with someone that's not of the legal age is 18, as long as they're in school, it's not a crime. And that happened because the leader of the Utah Senate, one of his family members got caught up on something. Thank you so much, Army Vet, for that. Listen, I want to stop for a second and say thank you all for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. Don't forget the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast hits today. And for those of you who are already members of my Patreon, you already had access to it because you get early access. But today's episode, I'm talking about how immigration, be careful not to lose your flavor. Flavor, those who know. Don't lose your flavor. Not to assimilate and go along to get along in this country, because they'll never respect you because you assimilate. Okay? Never will you be respected due to assimilation. Check it out. I want to thank you all for joining this morning. If you could tap that like button for me, it helps me out a lot. It helps to boost my lives. And also, hit that copy link button. You don't have to send it to anybody. But copying the link is like sharing it to someone. That's how TikTok sees it. And so it helps to boost my live as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. Now, look, we're going to talk about, we got a couple things to talk about this morning. Now, I told y'all, I recorded the video this morning. I got to put it up. Remember I told y'all how the government is partnering with PragerU? They want to use PragerU to replace the fact that they've destroyed PBS, and PBS is going away. They want to indoctrinate the babies young with PragerU. Teach the babies young and teach them what they consider to be history. Just like Trump. Trump is now the Trump administration is meeting with the Smithsonian to make the Smithsonian change exhibits to align with Trump's version of history. Remember, Republicans told you about freedom. Freedom. They're full of shit. I've been telling y'all that. The party that claims they're full of fucking freedom is a lie. It's a lie. They don't believe in nothing free. In D.C. right now, they're telling the homeless, you will be arrested if you don't go to a shelter. We don't want you on the streets. We don't want to see you. And if we do, we're going to arrest you and throw you in a homeless shelter or in a treatment facility. Force it. What happened to all that freedom? What happened to all the freedom, y'all? You have a right to live off the grid. You got a right to be homeless if you choose to. But see, nobody wants to talk about all the homeless veterans. They just want to hide them. See, I used to work with the homeless a lot in the city. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. I was raised, if not for the grace of God, it could be me. So I was raised to volunteer and help out people that are less fortunate than myself. Majority of the people that I would run into in those homeless facilities or programs were veterans. They didn't have addictions. They were veterans. They had served their country. They had made the ultimate sacrifice, and their government abandoned them. That's why they were on the streets. For a lot of them, that's why they were on the streets. They were abandoned by their government. Some of them did have mental health issues, but the mental health issues were directly because of being in service. The things they saw disturbed them so much, they were never the same. Thank you so much, delivery. They were never the same. That's how that happened. Y'all gotta wake up. This is rich people. Now rich people saying, I don't even want to see poor people. Haven't I been telling y'all the whole time? I've been telling you. And all of your desire and your aim and your zest and your hunger to want to be around rich folks and be like rich people, they don't want to be around you. You smell funny. You smell poor. It's no disrespect to you when I say it to you, but I'm telling you the truth. They don't want to hear about how you struggle. They don't want to hear about how hard it is. Man, they don't want to hear that shit. That's poor people problems. Yeah, I've heard about all the black women who've lost their jobs. I was one of them. I lost mine. Elon took my job. I lost my job. But guess what the thing about black women? We gonna pivot. We gonna pivot. See, one thing I did notice, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say everybody, but look, because you know I'm from the city. But a lot of people are waiting on black people to decide to be the people to start this resistance movement. Let me tell you something. I made my ass clear back in November, and I'm gonna repeat myself again. I'm focused on me. It's the season of me. I ain't leading no fucking movement, okay? The only movement I'm leading is my own movement. Now, I'm telling y'all what y'all need to do. I'm waiting to see who gonna do it. Because I know I didn't vote for the shit. You understand? So I damn sure not gonna be on the front lines for the shit. Because I know as soon as my black ass show up, the narrative changes. That's when they get violent. Because we showed up. Negative. Go on ahead and put your work in, partner. And that's what I'm waiting for all the people who voted for this shit. I didn't vote for this. Somebody has to do something. That somebody is you. I ain't doing shit. That somebody is you. Because I told you before the election what it was going to be. Like I told y'all, school starting back up. All these women who were so excited about busting up the Department of Education, but they got special needs kids. Honey, when they see how special needs children used to be treated in the public school system, and when they realize by busting up the Department of Education, you have also taken away services for your special needs child. Good luck to you. That's all I can say. Good luck to you. Hope it works out for you. Because I already know what's the fuck's going to happen. Your child is going to be left behind. Nobody's going to give a shit. Because that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Your special needs baby is DEI. Boom. But y'all was so busy worried about black people. Black people. I told y'all, my black ass ain't never been hired under no fucking DEI. Ever. I just come in there and got to be twice as good as the people already in there that don't look like me. But I ain't never been hired on no DEI initiative shit. Ever. I wouldn't even apply for a job that talks like about that shit. Nope. Because I'm not about to come pad your books and be your token black people in there so you can look like you're diverse. Negative. I have no interest in that. So I wouldn't come work for your company any damn way. Doing no shit like that. It's white women that was in those DEI jobs. That's why it was white women who lost their jobs. Y'all gonna learn. It's not us. It's not us. Say it again, Scorpio girl. A lot of black folk hadn't heard of DEI until Trump mentioned it. Because we don't benefit from DEI. We are not the diversity, equity, and inclusion in DEI. Not in most spaces. Not in most spaces. But I was like, okay, people can believe what they want. Believe what you want. Whatever. What do I always tell you guys? If you like it, I love it. Right? I'm not for stopping people who feel like that's their way. Go right ahead. Have at it. But I'm also looking at it and I'm going, it ain't going to work out for them. I already know this because I already know what's at the end of that. Listen, rich people want more money. And if they have to make you and me more poor to get that money, they're going to get that money. So they help to nurture all these other things that promote the divisions amongst all of us. So they can rob you blind while we fighting about nothing. Hey, Seventh Wonder, good morning. But you see this picture up here. Now, I know it's funny in jest, but that's how it feels if you go get a pound of ground beef and you paying $10, $12 for a pound of meat. Shit, that's how it feels. It feels literally like you paid $20 for a little ass pack of meat. That it's not like you can have leftovers with your family. That's for dinner that day. You got 7 days in the fucking week you got to get through. 7 days. Say it again, Trey. Oh, yeah. Diversity be like German, Irish, and Swedish. Say it again. But it's not us. Yeah, that's a 4th ounce for $20. Now, that's satire. Now, I can show you a real one. I can show you a real one. I had up here yesterday, a place in Kansas selling $5 avocados. $5 for one avocado. I'm telling y'all should be bothered by the price of food because rich people are also price gouging you too. Because I can't believe for 1 second the prices for all of this shit is this expensive because it all ain't tariffs. You understand? They're not making potato chips in India and shipping them here. That ain't what Utz is doing. You understand? That shit's being made here. That shit's being made here. But y'all got to understand, once the prices go up, they don't go down. So all this money that you're paying to eat, not to get extravagant things, just your necessities. All this money that you're paying, it's not going to go down. Why would they drop the prices when I know that you will pay the increased price? I know you'll pay it because you're paying it now. So why would I give you less price? Not only am I going to keep the price high, I'm going to shrink the size of the packages. So I'm going to make you pay more and get less and then make you be happy about it. Okay? Christopher says food prices are going up 30% because they deported. Yeah, a big part of it is the deportation of the workers. The other part of it is just corporate price gouging. A lot of it is corporate price gouging. The lady who ran, she would fight. Yep, she would have, but people didn't want that. You know what I found? Working class people love rich people so much and hate their own selves so much. They'll sacrifice everything to lift up rich people. We all know that, right? Don't we all know that? Don't we all know that? People will go poor to prop up rich folks just so they don't have to be seen as poor. And I wasn't raised to be that my worth was connected to the money I had. See, I wasn't raised that way because we didn't have money. We didn't have money. So it also confuses me because the same people who think that way are religious. And I go, well, wait a minute. I know for damn sure the Bible don't say because you got money, that means you're more blessed than somebody who doesn't. That don't even make sense. Jesus wasn't hanging out with the rich, so it doesn't make logical sense. No, that's rich people. Even they even have, it's crazy to me to watch working class poor people have rich people preach the word of God to them. Are you kidding me? People who have personal helicopters and private jets are preaching the word of God to you? Jesus wouldn't be hanging out with those people. They got money. That's not God. That's man. But somewhere along the way, people lost their way. You know why? Because they became, they're gluttons. They worship money. They worship rich folk. The lifestyle. All that shit is supposed to be sin. But because they're listening to charlatans preach to them, they're listening to charlatans preach to them, they can't even wake up and get away from it. It's what I said the other day in one of my other videos. There is a lot of slavery happening, but the slavery, honestly, this is my humble opinion. The slavery is happening from the bottom up with the people. People literally being like, the working class folks have made the decision to give up. Working class people they're so ashamed of being working class that they'll go into the poorhouse chasing the heels, nipping at the heels of rich people. And rich people looking at you like, we're not the same, because you're not. You're not. You're not the same. You're not. America got more slaves than it had 400 and something years ago. 500 and something. You got more slaves now. Because now you a slave to the system. You a slave to them fucking bills you got at home. Rich people talk to you into buying shit you didn't need, creating bills. Now, that rule over your life more than any laws, governments, or anything. What keeps your ass in line is them fucking bills. That's why you won't buck back against the fucking machine. That's why you won't buck back against the machine. Them fucking bills. Because God forbid you lose that job that's just allowing you just to hang on by a string and pay the bare minimum on them fucking bills. No, Dre, that is true, Dre. That's true. I know it's true for you. You only got 132 followers. No way you making no money on TikTok. Bye, Dre. He was dressed as a superhero, too. I saw him fly his ass right on out of him. I'm a superhero, too. I am Captain Block. I move faster than the speed of lightning. Hey. The threat of homelessness is terrifying, but you know what's crazy? Working class people are obviously not afraid to be homeless because they'll give all their money to rich people. I guess they think rich people will then give them a little bit of money. Yeah, rich people will sprinkle some money on them. I ain't never seen rich people sprinkle no money on nobody. Because my thing is this. This is just how I see it. If I was a person and I had more money than the eyes could see, more money than I could ever spend, to be honest with you, let me tell you what I would do. I would spend a lot of time giving money away. I would just give it away. I would literally walk the streets and change folks' lives. That's what I would do. And would want to do it. Look, I call it incognito. That's what I would do. And I would just love to watch online and see people cry and talk about somebody helping them and them not knowing who it was and just saying thank you. I wouldn't even comment and just make it seem like with me. I would be like, oh, that's so awesome somebody did that. I literally would be a savior to folks, but never want them to know who I was. And I would work so hard to protect my identity. If I would have to go through channels to make it so, okay, I'm gonna give it to this person, to give it to this person, to give it to I'm gonna go through like seven layers of separation, and that seventh person is gonna give it to the person I want it to go to. Because I would do it like Keith Lee does it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta treat everybody with respect, because you never know when Keith Lee has come into your establishment, technically, right? I would do it the same way, but you notice rich people don't do that. Rich people don't run around just giving it away. You know why they don't do that? Because it's a race against other rich people about who has the best shit, who has the most money. They're greedy. They're greedy. My thing is, I don't even understand how you can be excited about having money, that much money, when you see all the suffering. The suffering alone would bother me. Where I would go, well, this shit ain't no fun. This shit ain't no fun. All I get to do is see people suffer while I buy shit. Well, I don't want to do that. Because my mindset is, let's all get in on this. But that's not how they think. They're selfish people. All they care about is me, I. What can I get? What's going to be given to me? Yep, the rich used to build libraries, art centers. They don't do that no more. They don't do that no more. Because, see, back in the day, I told y'all, I said this before, education is power. Rich people understand that education is power. Okay? They understand that. Working class people, you allow rich people to talk to you. No, you don't need no education. Somebody tell you don't need education is somebody trying to take advantage of you. Education is how you get out of your situations. Education is how you get to the next level. You're not going to get to the next level doing the same things that you've been fucking doing. I guarantee it. Yep, Lexi, it's that anti-intellectualism. But it's only for the poors. Rich people are still going to college. Rich people are still going to college. They're still getting educations. Don't believe me? Then why would Aunt Becky work so hard to try to get her daughter into that college by lying? Because even for rich people, it's a status thing to say my kid goes to Columbia. My kid is majoring in political science. You understand? Even for rich people, it's a brag to talk about the education of their children. That's why I don't understand, when did the 99.9% decide I don't need no education? And y'all see what they're saying here in the live about how the elites, they wanted you to have an education. They wanted you to be exposed to things, right? And college does not equal education. To me, college is about experiences. You go to college to get away from home and to experience the world outside. Because, see, as long as you live at home with your parents, you're experiencing the world through their eyes. When you go to college, college was about experiencing the world through your own eyes and your own experiences. To Cassie B's point, they price people out of college. So now they're still under the guise and influence of their parents. And y'all wonder why shit won't change. Trade schools are great. Now, I remember when trade schools used to be cheap. I remember when you used to go to school to become a barber for $200. Shit, now trade schools, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Again, it's another way for rich people to price you out. It's just another way for rich people to price you out, baby. Y'all should be outraged at government saying, we're going to cut all these programs that you get access to, because rich people was mad about tax dollars going to that, but rich people don't pay taxes any fucking way. That's our money. So who are you to tell me I can't spend my money on me, But I'm supposed to spend it on you to bail out your business after you gave up a whole bunch of subprime mortgage loans. Oh yeah, my daughter graduated cool beans from a high school that did trade school inside of the high school. So by the time some of those kids graduated from school, they would have a cosmetology degree. They would be a certified mechanic. Having trades inside of schools is the way to go. But now if you want to learn a trade, you got to pay. They're not trying, them schools ain't trying to teach them kids shit. They teach, know what they teaching kids now in public school? How to work in low-wage jobs for rich people. They ain't teaching them no skills. They don't teach them no thinking, no independent thought. They don't want the kids questioning why. When we were growing up, we were told to question why. Remember the 5 W's? Who, what, when, where, and why. That's what you were told to question. And everything you did, question everything. Believe nothing was what you were told. You had to have verifiable evidence. Without the evidence, it didn't exist. Yeah, and the how. I forgot about that. Look. But you're right, and the how was involved. Oh, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for tapping that like button and the share button for me. And listen, if you love the unfiltered commentary, click the link in my bio and come on over and hang out with us in Patreon. We're having ourselves a grand old time. Okay? Yep, I remember being taught how to source credible information too. Kids nowadays don't know how to source credible information. Any little thing they see on the internet, they believe it. They just take it as a grain of salt. I believe that. I'm going to go with that. Remember before the election, conservatives believed in Pizzagate. Remember? They believed that it was some mystery pizza parlor in the city moving around children. That shit was all a lie. Fast forward to having proof of Trump's association and affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Leon Black. All these people. They go, oh, that can't be true. That can't be true. Honestly, Kara, I feel like we got the last great education. Those of us born in the 70s and 80s, we got the last great education that the American school system had to offer. We got the last bit. I was class of 93. And I remember then we were writing papers. Okay? We wrote a lot. You had to write essays all the fucking time when we were growing up. I don't know about now, kids have to write essays. But teachers loved fucking essays back then. They loved essays that had to have footnotes and annotated bibliographies. But they loved fucking papers. So we were always in the library. We stayed in the library. This is why we know what a card catalog system is. Say it again. And you bring up drafts. My husband brought that up the other day. Because we used to have to submit drafts to our teacher. It wasn't like the teacher gave you an assignment to write a paper. And then she says, due on this date. And then you turn it in on that date. It won't be that easy. You got to have a rough draft. And you got to turn your rough draft in by a certain date. And then your teacher's going to grade the rough draft. And then you got to wait till you get your rough draft back with your teacher's notes on it. Because you are expected to incorporate those notes into your final draft of that paper when you turn it in. Kids don't do that now. Now, part of it, I would say the teachers ain't got time. Because the way they got the shit set up with the schools now, teachers just genuinely don't have time to request that shit. But back in our day, we did. Back in our day in math class, you couldn't turn in no math homework or no math classwork without no scrap paper. Teacher want to see that shit. I need to see your work. Show me your work. Because if you can't show me your work, then I can't say that you know how to do it. That's just real talk. We had a great education. One of the reasons why I still read, we had to read all the time to somebody's point because we had to do fucking book reports. Yeah, we read for fun, but we read because we had fucking book reports to do. And not only did you have to read the book, do a book report, you might have to get up in front of the class and present your entire report. So you also had to learn how to speak in public. Yep. Had to learn how to speak in public. I like book reports too. I was a geek in school. I love book reports and I love the book fair. Even though I couldn't hardly ever afford anything out of there but pencils and erasers. Like, I had a love-hate relationship with the book fair. I know I ain't the only one. But I had a love-hate relationship with the fucking book fair. Because the book fair always reminded me I was poor. You know what I mean? Because I never really had no money for the book fair. And so anytime you would see kids that would always have like a good money for the book fair, you always be like, because I knew that I just really couldn't afford most of that stuff at the book fair. Every so often I could get a couple of books at the book fair, but by and large it was like picking one book. I remember those little blue book at college finals, but I could do one book. I still have a couple of books in my house that I bought at my school book fair that are just sentimental to me that I hung on to. And one book, I remember I bought one book at the book fair because, you know, they didn't always read all those books at the teachers and stuff, so they wouldn't always know the contents of some of the books. And I remember when I was in elementary school. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. And I found this book. I think it was like Prom Queen or Homecoming Queen or some shit like that. And I was reading the book. And that book was spicy. Because in that book, the girl was talking about kissing her boyfriend. And then they was talking about, you know, going to second base and stuff like that. Chill. I was in that book reading. I was like this. I was reading. Look, your mama and your dad, they don't even know what you read. You just like, honey, listen. Yep, Beverly Clearly and the Sweet Valley High. Listen, and them Judy Blooms. Don't play with me. We would be at home like, and then go back to school and tell your friend, girl, did you read pages 12 through 22? Did you see it, girl? And then your friend be like, don't tell me. I'm going to read it on my own. Listen. Y'all running to watch TV shows. We was reading fucking books. Okay? We were reading books. Comic books. All time. That's what we were doing. We were not like just sitting in front of the television because there was no concept of recording anything. Not because this was before VCRs and all that other shit. So if you didn't see it when it was on TV, you didn't see it anyway. We didn't care. We were reading books. Because books were where kids got the spicy shit. You understand? That's where we got the spicy shit. Because kids, adults will tell you quick, get out of here watching grown folk stuff. So the closest you could get to grown folk shit was in books. Because if your parents or any of the elders in your family hadn't read that book and didn't know that salacious, what they call salacious stuff was, that shit tame now. But back then it was considered salacious. If your family didn't know that stuff was in the book, that's the closest you was going to get to salacious shit, was the fucking book fair. That damn Sweet Valley High, stop playing. Y'all brought back memories with that shit. Honey, because those Sweet Valley High books were messy, honey. They were messy. That and Judy Bloom. They were good books, but they were messy. And say it again, Army vet, a lot of kids can't even read out loud these days. We read out loud. I never read the teen telephone line. Maybe I did, but I didn't realize it, user. I could have read it, but I didn't remember if I did read it. But we used to have to read out loud in class. Yep, the Babysitter's Club. Yep. Okay, listen. Okay, I saw a dude say something. I got to talk about this. Okay, so I grew up on Benny Hill too, right? And Monty Python too, because me and my brother, we used to sneak and watch it. Because again, I'm telling y'all, it was a different time. They didn't want kids looking at certain things. They tried to like keep you from certain things. Even though the elders around you would be doing all types of wild shit that you would get to see. When it came to like media and stuff, they were very guarded about what they wanted children to see. So we would sneak and watch Benny Hill, right? Because Benny was always chasing bitches, right? Come on. Let's just keep it all the way above. Benny loved women, okay? So him and that little old man that didn't talk all the time, that was always like, the old guy that was always like this, okay, they was always chasing women on the TV show. And I remember one time, my brother and I, we were in our room, in the bedroom, right? We shared a bedroom. All y'all with these separate rooms, we didn't do that. My brother and I shared a bedroom, and we had bunk beds, okay? Y'all new age kids. Everybody ain't had their own fucking room. I didn't grow up like that. But anyway, so me and my brother were in our bedroom, and we got our little TV. And so I remember it was late at night, and we turned it, I think it was channel 50, which you could watch Benny Hill on. And so we turned it on channel 50, and we had did the dial and got the antenna just right so we could see it enough. So, and I'll never forget, Benny was chasing bitches again. Because Benny was always chasing bitches, okay? That's just what he did. If you heard that song, Benny was chasing bitches. You understand? Because they would just run back and forth. They would just run back and forth, right? But he was always chasing bitches anytime you heard that song, right? So Benny was trying to chase bitches again, right? That was the rated R of our times, was Benny Hill, right? So Benny was trying to chase bitches. And he had found a bicycle. And he decided, well, the only way for me to keep up with him this time, for me to chase him, I got to get on this bicycle. So Benny goes to jump on his bicycle, but the seat falls off. To see Benny try to ride that bike with just the pole, honey, my brother and I were in that room cackling, and we tried to be as quiet as we could. We in there, we trying to hold it together. But you know how Benny used to make that face? Benny Hill had like a laughable face. Like as soon as you saw him make the face, you were going to fucking laugh. It was nothing you could do to hold it in. Benny had a funny ass face. We in there cackling and laughing. My mama come in that room. She saw we were watching Benny Hill, honey. She was so mad. I can't believe you're watching this. This man is an abomination. Me and my brother are like, we know. This shit is hilarious. Benny was hilarious. Do you understand? That face was the business. If I catch Benny Hill on any of the old networks I watch. I laugh my ass off. That shit is still funny to today. It's classic comedy. It is classic comedy. I remember we did that, and I remember one time, my brother, I told this story before, but it's so funny to me. I have to tell it again. One time, when my brother and I, right, this was when cassette tapes were still a thing. We had found a cassette tape recording of Richard Pryor on Live at the Sunset Strip. Man, oh man, oh man. We should have never been able to find that, my brother and I, right? So we knew then, as kids, that Richard Pryor was only for grown people, right? Because older people would listen to Richard Pryor records, but they would never allow children in the room. You know what I mean? Everybody knew Richard was like spicy, right? So, girl, don't get me started on Dolomite. I love me some Dolomite. Rudy Ray Moore is one of my favorites. That's a favorite OG right there. But I'll get back to that. So, we find this cassette tape, Richard Pryor, live on the Sunset Strip. So we found it. And then my grandmama had a little radio. So every time my mother would leave, my brother and I, we would put that fucking tape on and laugh our asses off. Do you understand me? We didn't run to the television. We went to a cassette tape, okay, to listen to that stand-up routine, which has to be one of the best comedy specials on earth. If you've never watched that, listen to that. And I think there's video for it too. If I'm not mistaken, it was like a documentary or something. If you have never listened to Live on the Sunset Strip with Richard Pryor, you don't know fucking funny. That tape was hilarious. I remember my brother and I, we would listen to that thing and then have to hide it before my mama come home. Same thing with Rudy Ray Moore. If we find Rudy Ray Moore stuff, we would sneak and listen to it, but then hide it. Because you weren't supposed to be listening to that. You was a child. Millie Jackson records. Listen. I repeated some stuff, but I couldn't do it around the teacher because, Reef, if you repeated it around the teacher, she going to call your mama, and then your mama going to spank you in front of the class. That's when your mama come in, oh, you want to quote Richard at work? I mean, at school? Well, I'm going to show you how to quote some Richard Pryor. I'm going to quote some on your ass. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to listen to Millie when my mama wasn't home because my mama had Millie Jackson records. Mama had Millie Jackson records. And so I would listen to that shit. I would listen. I still got my mother's Millie Jackson records here in the house. Do you understand? Do you understand? I used to sneak and listen to that shit when she wasn't home because my mama had a component set. Listen. And she loved her records. And so I would listen to Millie Jackson. I would listen to Richard Pryor. I would listen to what's his name? I can see him in my face right now. They used to write for Richard Pryor, who I was just talking about. I would listen to him. I would listen to George Carlin. My mother liked George Carlin. Yeah, my mother had Red Fox records too. I would sneak and listen to those because I wasn't allowed to listen to them. I'm talking about a little bit of everything today, Heen. Especially these high-ass groceries. Yeah, but no, that's why I say comedy now, you can still find some really great comedians now, but comedy then, you had to have thick skin, and frankly, they did a lot of brilliant things. I used to love Don Rickles. Oh, Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, talk about offensive comedy. That's why I'm one of those people. I love that type of shit. I lean into that shit. Do you understand? Do you understand? Man, Rodney was the man. I used to love Rodney Dangerfield. I used to love Sam Kinison. Yeah, Paul Mooney. Yep, that's who I was talking about. I used to sneak and listen to Paul Mooney too because you was not allowed to listen to Paul Mooney as a kid. I used to love Flip Wilson, Robin Harris. I said it already, George Carlin. I used to love to listen to George Carlin, which surprised me when George got a national television show because I was like, how is he going to pull that off? Eddie Murphy, back in the day, don't play with it. That's a goat right there. Oh, don't play with me. Hickory dickory dock. Oh, don't play with dice. Don't play with dice. I love me some dice. I remember Ford Fairlane too. Man, ain't nothing like dice. And listen, people, listen. I know we're not supposed to leave our cups around Bill Cosby. But Bill Cosby is a stand-up goat. I've seen Bill Cosby do stand-up in person. Goat. Folks can say whatever they want to say. Bill Cosby know how to tell fucking jokes. Okay? He know how to set up jokes. Bruh started on stage doing stand-up. Say what you want to say about Bill Cosby. That motherfucker know how to tell a joke. Yep. Yeah, Carlos Mencia is not as good as he used to be. I'm going to tell you somebody I love too. George Wallace. George Wallace is one of my favorites. George Wallace don't get his flowers the way he should. George Wallace is fucking hilarious and don't get his flowers the way he should. George Wallace is up there with the goats. He don't get the credit that he deserves. George Wallace is fucking hilarious. He's hilarious. If you can watch George Wallace stand up and not laugh, I would say, I don't know how. I just don't know how. Bernie was a goat too. Bernie was a goat too. And I'm going to say something unpopular. Well, maybe it isn't unpopular, but Bernie was the funniest one on Kings of Comedy Tour. It was Bernie, followed by D.L. Hughley, then Cedric, then Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was eyed on that stuff. But the hardcore funny jokes were Bernie Mac, followed by DL, then Cedric, then Steve Harvey. Yep, then Steve Harvey. That guy used to be able to throw his voice and sound like anything you wanted. Yeah, you mean the guy that used to be, the black guy that was on Police Academy? You mean that guy? Because he's good too. Bernie was always funny. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve was jealous of Bernie. But this is the thing. If Bernie was still around, I don't think Steve would be where he is now. I'm not saying Steve wouldn't be popular, but Bernie would be in a lot of those places you see Steve Harvey. In my humble opinion. Because Bernie was a better host. Bernie was just a better comedian. In my humble opinion. That's just me. One of the reasons why D.L. Hughley is not in the place that you see Steve Harvey, because D.L. Hughley don't go along to get along. Steve does. Yeah, Steve does. Oh, Martin's stand-up was unrivaled too. Martin Lawrence, great stand-up. Great stand-up. You So Crazy? Great stand-up. But see, I love Martin's stand-up, don't get me wrong. But the Martin Show, I still watch that regularly. I still watch that because the Martin Show is still unrivaled. That shit is still unrivaled. I watch that shit every week. And the craziest part is I watch it so much I know it line for line, but I still watch the shit. Yeah, Steve Martin was hilarious. Female comedians, yes. Adele Givens. Miss Laurie. What's my other girl? That was on The Talk. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was also in Beauty Shop. You want some monkey bread? Eek! Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's his name? That bitch is hilarious. Yes, some more is funny too. Dave Chappelle's hilarious. He is. George Lopez. Now listen. Now I want to be clear about something. Folks sleep on George fucking Lopez. George Lopez, his fucking stand-up is fucking hilarious. When he was like, mira. Listen, George Lopez, that whole stand-up thing he does about when he was growing up and his family used to take them to amusement parks, but they would only pay for 2 of them to get in and all the rest of them, they slide them under the gate. Listen. Yeah, Cheryl Underwood. I love me some Cheryl Underwood. Oh, Cheryl Underwood, GOAT. George Lopez don't get it. He don't get enough credit. Because he's an offensive comedian too. That's why I like him. He's not for the faint at heart. If you're very sensitive, you don't go see fucking George Lopez. Because you're going to get your feelings hurt. For sure. See, I'm one of those people, I like to go get my feelings hurt at the comedy club. I like to be like, bitch, but laughing. Long as I can laugh or either be like, but then laugh, I'm good. Now, if I'm just outraged, but I'm not laughing, that means you're not funny. You're just trying to be controversial. But if you can be funny and controversial, oh, I'm in there. I'm all for it. As long as you can be fun, you can balance that. I don't even care if you insult me, as long as it's funny. It's just gotta be funny. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of us in here are older, right? Y'all remember Def Comedy Jam. Oh, what a time to be alive. If you were a person and able to watch Def Comedy Jam when it was around. So many great comedians came through Def Comedy Jam that are not even everyday household names to everybody else, but they're everyday household names to us because they came through Def Comedy Jam. But there were so many great comedians that came through Def Comedy Jam. I miss venues like that because that's what we got to see really good. That's the first time I saw Chris Tucker. That Friday was not my first time seeing Chris Tucker. The first time I ever saw Chris Tucker was on a comedy stage on Def fucking Comedy Jam. And I'll never forget his stand-up. I still remember his act. That's how funny he was. Because I remember saying, who the fuck is this guy, man? He's hilarious. Because I remember he talked about, he robbed this woman in an alleyway. And he took her purse and he pulled the wallet out. And he said, what you doing with my damn brother's picture in your wallet? And then that's when he said, I'm sorry, mama, damn, I didn't know it was you. He was robbing his own fucking mother. Listen, I still remember that. The shit was hilarious because he came out dressed like a thug. But what you know about him now, he everything but a fucking thug. He yell louder than any woman you know. And I'm going to give you another movie recommendation. If you have never seen Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen, you are missing some of the funniest shit you will ever see on screen. Stop playing with it. That movie is, every time that shit come on, I watch it. Oh, your girl is fat. What? Oh, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting. Listen. James Carter, he says you are his first, you're his last, and you're his everything. Isn't that Barry White? Listen, Charlie Sheen, I didn't even know I needed Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen in a movie together. And I was sad that they never did another movie together because that movie was fucking hilarious. And the other dude, hey, Frenchie, when he talking shit to Frenchie. He say, listen, you got to come on down here and get these diamonds, blah, blah, blah. And Frenchie say, well, I'm going to take all. He say, I'm going to get some diamonds. Damn, I want some diamonds too. What you think I'm doing all this shit for? Stop playing with it. You got Chris Tucker. You got the dude in the French. If you got Frenchie dude, and then you got the dude that sucks the lollipop. His friend. Man, y'all better go watch that. If you have never seen Money Talks, you will love fucking Money Talks. Okay? Oh, I remember all that shit, Chocolate Hawk. Money Talks is a movie. If it's on TV, I'm going to watch that shit. Oh, that car wash shit was the best. Come on down here to the car wash. Man, listen. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. That movie is a fucking classic. Money Talks, that shit's a classic. I don't care what nobody say. Folks talk all this stuff about, well, I don't want to see black people that way. Man, get out of here. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Chris Tucker was fucking hilarious in that movie. And so was Charlie Sheen. When they do that fight scene, and they fighting, and Chris go like this, ooh, and then he punched Charlie in the face. Man, that shit's the best. When they fighting. Chris whoops Charlie ass in that hallway. He whooped Charlie ass in that hallway. And when he had that girl's daddy at the auction, and they was auctioning for the car, and then Pop saw Frenchie making faces at him too, then Pop got all turned up like, what? I'm buying that car. What? Man, stop playing with me. I've seen that movie thousands of times, I'm sure. I like All About the Benjamins. But if I have to choose between that and Money Talks gonna be All About the Benjamins every time for me. Because of Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen are a great combo. That's why, for me, every time, they are gonna win. Because that was just a great combination. That's a great movie to see. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Hands down. Wayans brothers put all their foot in that. They put all their foot in that. When the friend got killed and he came over to see her and he was upset swinging at the end and he started punching them kids in there. I was like, why are you punching these babies? And this girl had the United Benetcon of children. Y'all remember when she had that Chinese baby? Man, y'all better go see that movie. That was a good one too. I told you I love movies. But that Don't Be a Menace to South Central by Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. Listen, it's a long title, but it's worth it. It is worth it. But I forgot all about Money Talks. Something somebody said in here triggered it for me. And I was like, man, Money Talks is my movie. I was just watching it a couple weeks ago on fucking cable. Message! Listen. My favorite message scene in Don't Be a Menace is when he that baby and he kicked them legs up and yelled message. I was dead on arrival. Keenan was wrong for that shit. He was wrong for that shit. Because I wasn't ready for that. Oh, Low Down Dirty Shame is good. Oh, Low Down Dirty Shame. Peaches. Miss Peaches girl. When you go to the store, can you get me a perm? And make sure girls, this time it's regular. Because last time you got me super, girl. Listen. Y'all listen. When he showed up at that spa, because he was looking for that girl, and he's like, hey. And he tried to act like he was gay too. And he got the boy's boyfriend mad. Man, he was like, oh, you home wrecker. And the guy was like, if you ever want any milk in your espresso, give me a call. Man. Shane, why would you do that? When he slapped him and he fell up against Shane, and he was like, y'all gonna make me watch that shit today? I love that movie. Low Down Dirty Shame. I could watch every time too. I told you when I saw you, I was gonna drop you wherever you fall. Listen. That is my Low Down Dirty Shame is hilarious. I'm sorry, it's another hilarious fucking movie. It's a lot of funny movies out. But Low Down Dirty Shame, that was another good one. That's another, that brings back memories every time I watch that movie. Because that's the first movie we ever saw the dude that plays Rock. The first movie we ever seen him in where he was a bad guy. That's why I never forgot it. Oh, Norbit is the best. Can I tell you my favorite scene in Norbit? It's two of them. The one where Norbit come home and Marlon Wayans is in the bed with his wife. That's the first one. That scene and the church scene when Kat and Eddie Griffith is coming down that aisle in the church and Kat is jumping rope. Listen, he like this coming down the aisle, and the other one doing hopscotch. Norbit is fucking hilarious. Norbit is fucking hilarious. I love me some Norbit. Now Norbit, I will watch no matter what. Norbit is another one. Norbit is hilarious. Yeah, Hollywood Shuffle. We was just talking, me and my husband talking about that the other day. Man, my bunion is killing me. Hey, how much for a plate of ribs? Oh, that's $9.99. Okay. Let me get a rib. Oh, let's get one order of ribs. No. One rib. Listen. Bruh did all that shit like he had no money and pulled out a whole wad of cash. I remember those days, man. Man, those are some good movies. People don't do movies like that no more. I'm going to tell you another one. Don't play with Baps. Don't play with Baps. I love how Halle Berry still leans into Baps. Like, she loves the fact that she made that movie. She has so much fun talking about that movie. Man, Baps is the business. What? Baps is fucking hilarious. What they say? Stop playing with it. Baps is hilarious. Hilarious. Halle Berry was so funny in that movie. That movie, and there's one more movie. What is that movie? I'm about to look it up right now as I wrap up. Hold up. Movie with. I don't even want to say who's in it because y'all going to tell me before. Booty Call. Man, that's another favorite. If Booty Call come on, oh, Strictly Business is good too. But if Booty Call come on, I'm watching it every time. I'm watching Booty Call every time. Every time. Booty Call was fucking hilarious. Oh, I'm watching Life too. Jang-a-lang. Eyes the Pappy. Listen, I'm watching every time. They had to have great fun making Life. And yes, Halle's gorgeous, but she loves to do comedy too. And I don't know why people haven't given Halle more options to do comedy, because she is good in comedy too. And Baps, that's just a classic. Booty Call, classic. Some of our movies back in the day were just great movies. You like that? You gonna eat your cornbread. Hey man, I'm gonna eat my damn cornbread. You come over here and touch my cornbread, there's gonna be consequences and repercussions. Y'all gonna make me watch Life today too. Shit. I watched Life last week actually because it was on cable. So I watched it. See, people don't make movies like that no more, man. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. That new Eddie Murphy movie with Pete Davidson and Keke Palmer, that shit's hilarious. That shit is hilarious. I watched it. I watched some pieces of it. I didn't finish it. My husband was watching it, and I happened to be coming into the room. That movie is fucking hilarious. I didn't know that Pete Davidson and Eddie Murphy actually have chemistry with Keke Palmer that I would like, and I did. I liked all of it. That was a funny ass movie. That was good. Eddie's still making funny movies. Harlem Nights, can't nobody do Harlem Nights like, man, I just watched Harlem Nights like 2 weeks ago. That shit's still funny. Yeah, Eddie would be hilarious on the daily. I love me some Eddie. Oh, thank you all so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I've been having so much fun. I wasn't even paying attention because that's how it is with y'all. I have so much fun with y'all. I thank y'all for being here with me this morning. I thank you for sticking around. I know it's after 10. It's the work day has gotten started for a lot of people, so they have to fall off. I thank you so much for being here. Listen, Jim Carrey is hilarious, but see, the young people will never understand. We got lucky. We had In Living Color. Jim Carrey was on there, Tommy Davidson, Jamie Foxx, all the Wayans brothers was on there. The original cast of like David Allen Greer, all that stuff, we had the best shit ever, man. In Living Color was ahead of its fucking time. And I still say to this day that In Living Color is funnier than Saturday Night Live. Hell, I think Mad TV was funnier than Saturday Night Live. I said what I said. I don't care what nobody think. Mad TV was fucking hilarious. And it was funnier than Saturday Night Live. I stand by that. I stand by that. Mad TV was hilarious. But that fucking In Living Color, Fire Marshal Bill, y'all remember the Coneheads? They did the Coneheads. They did, what else did they do? They did Men on Film. I used to love Men on Film. Men on Film. Miss Bonita up in the window telling everybody business. SNL was this greatest during back in the day, the 70s and early 80s. That's when SNL was the greatest. Back when Eddie was on there, gonna get in the hot tub, gonna make the sweater. Well, listen, only those of us who know. That's way back in the day. Old school SNL. But In Living Color has so much classic stuff. When Jim Carrey pretended to be Vanilla Ice, golden shit. When Miss Wanda finally came on In Living Color, when Jamie Foxx started being Wanda, and Wanda thought she was so fine, but she wasn't, stop playing with it. Oh, I remember Mr. Robinson Neighborhood. See, I have the Best of Eddie Murphy Saturday Night Live VHS tape here in my house. I told y'all I don't play no games, okay? I don't play no games. I have a VHS player, a DVD player, and a Blu-ray player. Stop playing with me. And a CD player, and a tape deck, and a record player. Y'all can play, I don't play. And In Living Color, just so y'all know, it still comes on. You just got to find it on these older channels. But I'm telling you, and if you go back and look at some really old SNL stuff, you will laugh until you cry. Back when Steve Martin was on there, Eddie Murphy, I'm trying to think who else. I can see his name. Back when they had the Blues Brothers on there, like all of that time, man, it was crazy. Then it was different. It was different. Yeah, SNL is not consistent. They're not consistent. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was on there. It was a different time then. Gilda Radner, it was different. And that was around the time I was growing up. And Saturday Night Live was markedly different than it is now. Right, John Belushi, it was different then. But Chevy Chase doing that weekend news. What? I was watching National Lampoon's Vacation just the other day, laughing my ass off in here. It's no way that you cannot watch National Lampoon's Vacation and still not laugh. The shit is hilarious. Children, if you don't know nothing about these movies that we talking about, you need to go dig in crates and watch that stuff. Because when you watch it and then you see the new stuff that gets created, you'll go, that shit ain't funny. It's too tender. So watch it, because trust me, you're going to like, man, Christmas Vacation was hilarious. But I used to love me some Chevy Chase, because Chevy Chase is another guy. Looking at his face made me laugh. Steve Martin was a guy. Looking at his face made me laugh. The Jerk. Oh, he's so good in The Jerk. He's so good in The Jerk. Hated it. I love Men on Film. I love Men on Film. Because let me tell you why I used to love, I'm going back to something that somebody said real quick. I used to love Men on Film so much because David Alan Grier and Damon Wayans always had a hard time not laughing at themselves. So them trying to hold their laughter made it even more funny. Because they couldn't. They were making themselves fucking laugh. I love to watch a comedian make themselves laugh. I'm sorry. 2 snaps up. Look, remember they said 2 snaps up and a twist. Can't touch this. Remember they did that? Oh, I remember the Three Amigos. I was watching the Three Amigos last week. We are the Three Amigos. They were so special. Now I'm going to take you back even further with Martin Short. Y'all remember the movie Bad Luck he did with Danny Glover? That is a funny-ass movie. That's a funny-ass movie. If you have never seen Bad Luck with Martin Short and Danny Glover, watch that shit. I still remember Bad Luck. Bad Luck is hilarious. I used to love the Carol Burnett show. I used to love Mama's Family even more. I used to like Vicki Lawrence more, to be honest. I love me some Vicki Lawrence. Yeah, I used to love Tim Conway. It was the faces with Tim Conway. He ain't have to say nothing. Just to see his face would make me laugh. But that damn Mama's Family. Mama used to drag the fuck out of everybody in that house. She was the smartest one in that house. And she would drag everyone else that was in that house and remind them about how they weren't as smart as she was. I used to love Mama's Family. Oh, I remember those days. Look, y'all taking it back, man. Look, we all taking it back. Now we're going to all be on the internet today looking for these shows. We're going to all be on the internet today looking at these shows. Hell, I still remember on the Carol Burnett show when she calls herself dressing up like she's in Gone with the Wind, and she had the curtain dress on, but it still had the rod in it. Don't play with me. I remember them days. Carol Burnett show was hilarious. It was hilarious. So, now, where the white women at? That's Blazing Saddles, ain't it? Oh, I used to love Milton Berle. I used to love Milton Berle. I was watching Blazing Saddles about a week ago because that was on cable. Blazing Saddles, come on, I'm going to watch that shit. Bride of Frankenstein, going to watch it every time. Spaceballs, going to watch it every time. It's just certain movies I'm going to watch. I don't give a fuck how many times I've seen them. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I'm going to watch it every time. Your strength gives me strength. Every time. I'm going to just watch it. It doesn't matter. But I got to get to some recording today and handle some stuff, you know. And I know y'all got to get to work today. I thank you West Coasters because I know people on the other coast. So I try to stay on a little longer for you all because I know the time difference is crazy, right? I thank you all so much this morning. Oh my goodness, we got 111,000 likes. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate all of you all's support, all of your support across all platforms. I wanted to say I started an Instagram account yesterday because my girlfriend, she was getting on me about starting an Instagram account because my stuff shows up a lot apparently on Instagram. And I didn't even have not an Instagram account for that. I had a personal account, but I didn't put this stuff on my personal account. So I have another account over there that's my own account for this type of stuff. So I've started sharing stuff over there too. I've updated my webpage with the link to my Instagram as well. So if you want to follow me over there, come on over there as well. Come on over to Patreon, hang out over there with us. Don't forget, the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast drops today for everybody else at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today we are talking about how, as an immigrant, the last thing you want to do is assimilate. That's the last thing you want to do in terms of what you need to do is lean into who you are, because that's what makes you great. That's what makes you that's what helps to make America so great. And so I just want you to just be mindful of that. I'm also dropping an extra note in the Patreon today as well. Today, in the Patreon, the note is going to look, I got to remember what it was. I'm talking about the Israel-Palestine situation stuff because I can't talk about that really on TikTok the way I'd like to, unfiltered. So I'm going to put that I recorded the other day inside of Patreon because I got a lot of thoughts on what we see happening and how, as America's just sitting by, encouraging it and letting it happen and using our money to allow it to happen. That's the part that annoys me even more. So, yeah, so I feel some type of way about that stuff. So, I'll be putting that up so you guys can hear that because everybody says they hate oppression, but it seems to me they're very selective about when they don't like oppression. As long as it's somebody doing it that they like, they don't really care. They just, that's how I see it. That's just my opinion on it. When it's someone they like that's doing the oppression, they don't care. But when it's somebody they don't like, they're willing to let any and everything happen because they feel like, well, maybe they deserved it. That's how I feel like they treat it. And I don't like it, that. America, you got to be consistent because ain't nobody going to take us seriously when we keep acting in non-serious ways. Nobody's going to take us seriously. So I thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I will be back online 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be here. Don't forget that. I love you guys. I know you're going to have a great day. Why? Because I'm claiming it for you. Thank you so much for all the shares. We got 119 shares today. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate the most that you give me your time. What I tell you, your time is the most important and valuable commodity you have because once you get it, you can't get it back. That's okay, Kim. I'm going to make sure I put it up on YouTube this morning's live, but I'll be back on here at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before I wrap up, I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I want to thank you all for all of your support. Note the gifts, no matter how big or how small, because you work for your money. And I appreciate that. It's not a requirement to gift to be here, but I do appreciate that you do. So thank you so much. My top 5 gifters, and I'm sure some of them have fallen off because they had to get to work, but that's okay. Number 1, handsome, Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, handsome. Number 2, beautiful, my dog is Charlie. Number 3, beautiful Lori. Number 4, beautiful dude. And Lori, I got some more I got some other memes to post in that chat today where we was talking about from yesterday. I got some even more stuff. Miss Thompson, I know you saw some stuff too. I found some even more raggedy stuff, chill. And number 5, a special shout out. Number 5, beautiful Trail. Thank you so much, beautiful. I'm sorry, I forgot. I missed somebody. Number 4, beautiful dude. Thank you so much, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, beautiful Scorpio girl. Thank you so much, you all. I will see you this afternoon, live at 5. Don't forget what I always tell you. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head. Don't feed the trolls. And you can accomplish anything you see your mind, that you set your mind to, as long as you stay consistent. Peace, you all. I'll see you at 5 o'clock.